the entire play style of the team is just not great right now. And I don't think it's necessarily turnovers like I think it was about a month ago where the Ducks were losing games because they made a bad turnover pretty much twice or three times a period. It's almost like now they're just not playing. They're just not playing a system that's working, and I think he's kind of pushing that blame a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And St. Louis isn't out of it.
Yeah,
they fell down the standings, but they're 1 point behind Anaheim. They're 1 point behind Colorado. And this is a team that could sneak into the playoffs, and why not? Why not prove their ownership wrong that they weren't falling down the standings and going to crumble, but they have a chance to make the playoffs still. They got a lot to play for. They were, like I talked about earlier, they were upset. So shame on you, Randy. Make some lineup changes, man. Make the good moves. Let's do something here. Before we wrap on this, do you think that let's talk about Vancouver. Do you think Ryan Miller gets to start? You rest John Gibson? His former team.
Yeah, I feel like you would want to go with Gibby. I know it's San Jose. I know it's Vancouver, so it's an easier opponent, but it's not like you have to go into that game playing Miller. I mean, Gibby gets a day off, and you play the next game you play after that is 2 days later against Detroit, and there's really no back-to-backs coming up, I believe, until the last 2 games of the season. So if I was the Ducks, I'd run Gibson until you're at least in a comfortable position where you don't have to run him the way he's been playing. I wouldn't even try, and it's not any slight on Miller in the way he's been playing, but I think this is why you have a number one goaltender, and especially the way Gibson's been playing. He wasn't really strong in this game, but I can't really blame him for all the goals. And I feel like you just got to go with him no matter what. No matter who you're playing, no matter how bad the team is. There's a lot of teams at this point of the season that are trying to play spoiler, and I feel like you got to run him in this game against Vancouver. Unless he has a bad game, I feel like you got to run him for the entire rest of the season until really the last game on the Saturday in April where you're playing Arizona as the last game of the season. Unless you don't need him in that game, then you might as well just play Miller. But yeah, it really, in my opinion, for the next 11 games has to be Gibson.
Yeah, why not, right? Get him primed and ready for the playoffs. No rust going in there. I agree with you on that. I just wanted to see if you think this coaching staff would make that kind of change. I hope they don't.
I don't think so, because they feel like, other than back-to-backs, they've gone to Gibby when he's had enough rest and he's coming off either a good game or a game where they thought he played well despite the score, and I feel like that's kind of this one. I feel like he played pretty well in this one despite losing 4-2, but I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them after 3 losses in a row, where Gibby's been a part of 2 of them, to try and switch things up with Miller. But this is the point where you need your number one goalie. You need to be able to rely on him going into this stretch here where you're sitting outside of a playoff spot, but stringing together a couple wins can put you right back in the discussion, and you need to rely on him if he's going to be that guy for you.
I agree. So, unless you got anything else for us, Eddy, let's put a bow on it, call it a night.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you to everybody tuning in. If you stayed live through the whole show or even part of the show, I know it's late. We appreciate it. We love you guys. Everyone on Twitter, thanks for the questions, the participation, liking and retweeting anything we post. We love that too. Participating in our 3-star leaderboard that Eddy spends tireless hours putting together because so many people join in and participate in that. So we got to give Eddy a pat on the back. Anyone who's chimed in on Instagram or on Facebook, I'm working harder on getting that Facebook up and running. I finally got it set up on my phone so I can post directly to that. So we should see more things on Facebook coming in. As always, check us out on Spreaker. And Eddy, go ahead and round it off. Where else can everyone find us?
Yep, so I say this every time, but you can find us pretty much anywhere you consume podcasts. Spreaker just distributes it everywhere. The main place, if you want to go find us, is on iTunes. I know a lot of you guys consume podcasts there. If you are heading over to iTunes, if you guys want, please leave us a rating and a review. It helps us get the show out there. It helps people find us. And hopefully, like you guys did, so many of you did today, and join the live chat or join the discussion on Twitter. It really helps us out and gets the show out there. So, again, like Patrick already said, thank you to everybody that came out to the live chat. It was great, this show. We had a big uptake and people participating in the chat than the last one, which makes sense. It's a home game. A lot more people want to get in on the discussion. And thanks to everybody who participated in the Forever Mighty 3-star leaderboards. If you haven't, there's plenty of time to get in. I think the leader right now, Ricky Bradley, only has 5 points. That's barring, I don't know what he got tonight, but it really, I mean, you can get 3 out of 3 in one night and be right back in the discussion. We have monthly prizes, so make sure you get in while you can.
Cool, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Everyone have a great night.